The reality is no one has all the answers here. And so we wanted to allow you to hear from folks who are doing great work here and thinking about this topic. Typically, sustainability is not discussed. So what we want to do is offer, what does it look like to talk about these two things, both the tension points and the really promising things that AI can enable for sustainability. And
AI alone could add 1.2 trillion to Europe's economy and save the average worker 70 hours a year, so the equivalent of 2 weeks. But beyond that, AI is bringing massive transformation in terms of advances in science, climate action, and so the technology can have much bigger benefits.
What can you do in your day-to-day as a personal user of AI tools? What can you do at your company? How can you support your leadership team and your product development or your engineer team in thinking about this?
At the launch of ChatGPT in 2022, which was co-founded actually by one of Hinton's students, Ilya Sutskever, took AI out of the hands of data scientists and made it available to everyone. So it's important when you're looking at this, not just to look at carbon, but to look at overall energy use and a variety of other factors too.
The massive change over the last couple of years really has been around the use of generative AI. And I think we are fairly mature in our use of data and machine learning to drive a lot of those much more kind of traditional use cases. And where we are right now is very much in a kind of an experimental phase, particularly on the creative applications of generative AI.
It's still definitely AI assistant. It's not AI primary. We would never release a line of code. We would never release a line of text that has not been across a human's desk. We don't feel like we're at that point yet.
One of the biggest challenges we have at the minute is predicting and classifying and kind of modeling those different scenarios. An area where AI can definitely contribute in terms of modeling out those different scenarios and helping us to understand those different pathways, but also an area of quite a lot of uncertainty as well in the impact that AI and the impact that technology change more generally has on those net zero targets.
Is, most of the audiences that I end up talking to about AI one way or the other kind of fit into two camps. You either get the doomers or you get the maximalists. You either get the folks that say we set aside budget because we want to experiment with AI because we think this is the future. And you get folks that come and say, here's this 30-page disclosure that we want you to file with all of these details about how you're utilizing AI, and are you looking at job displacement? Are you looking at fair compensation rules? Are you looking at all sorts of things that are well beyond the scope of sustainability? And a little bit of a nuanced understanding of which of these things need stricter scrutiny than others is very, very helpful, I think, to be both good producers and good consumers of this technology.
So it sounds like it's really important to have an engineering team or a leadership team, that really understands what you just said, so that, look, there are other ways we could do this. We don't have to use kind of the shiny new large language model in all cases.
So actually the competitive advantage is in doing it yourself. It's not in using the big models that are already out there.
Tools. And I think that's where a lot of the room for optimization is when you have a capability that's part of a tool that starts to become optimized to generate a very specific output in a particular use case.
We actually have an AI model that looks at when compute tasks need to run, what clean energy is available around the world, and will automatically shift those jobs around so that we can make use of that clean energy. What I would say, because I think we're talking a lot around the sort of mitigating the downside risks of AI, and I think hugely important and something we're very focused on. But we mustn't lose sight of the opportunity that AI gives in the space of climate and sustainability.